Come on, guys. Honey buns, Airheads, Skittles, Starburst, chocolate chip cookies, Fun Dip, and chocolate milk. Got to hit that goal, guys. Come on. We are getting very desperate here this morning.
So come on, guys. Stop being a fucking pussy. Just do it.
Someone needs to say it is the greatest podcast ever.
Someone I proudly call my friend and fellow podcaster. He goes by the hardcore metal name of Soft.
Soft is a weird thing to call somebody.
Oh, he's got all the awards locked up. Rookie of the Year, locked up. MVP, locked up. Prettiest hog at the Mecklenburg County Fair.
That's right, Jody B. That's Harry. Fucking cool, right?
I got to see Soft Weekly there.
There were some people on the show that didn't want you.
I got a sports star who's tearing up the Australian league. Letting go.
I am hard, but I am fair.
Hey, everybody, listen up. It's the Professional Podcast.
I do not look down on niggers.
Was Eric Zane there?
I did run into Eric Zane.
Here you are all equally.
Congratulations, Corey.
Soft is a weird thing to call somebody.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Detroit. What a week it's been for all of us. Think about it. Wasn't Aaron's court date the 20th, right? The 20th. So yesterday was the 29th. Today is the 30th. What a crazy 10 days. Can you guys imagine it? I can't. I'm not. I was never rooting for people to get a bunch of felonies and shit to go out of control. You know what I'm saying? But this is fucking wild, dude. No one could have ever written this story. Everyone is covering it. You know, everyone is talking about it. It's hard. You can't get mad at people for it anymore. We call them Johnny-come-latelys or whatever, or people grifting on to what we had been talking about for a long time. You can't even fault those people anymore because this story has gotten so amazing. Win by 2 is covering it right now. It's we'll talk about that. Why are Win by 2 and I live at the same time? That seems something, if you would ask me long ago, I would have thought that would have never happened. You know what I mean? But it is happening. Look, there he is right there. There he is. He's live. He was going to do a show on Sunday. It was going to be his last Sunday show. I believe that was in the title. Now, granted, a lot of stuff has happened. You know what I mean? And everyone did emergency episodes or whatever yesterday, but I had already scheduled it. It seemed kind of strange that he would go live right when I went live. Detroit gets it. Drew does blow. Detroit. The Detroit show is coming up quickly, October 25th. I can't wait. I hope you can make it. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so I'm not sure. I got thrown off my game. I'm going to tell you guys all this. I got thrown off my game by John going live. I didn't know he was going to go live until this morning. And there he is, and he's doing a fantastic show as always. Let's see what he's up to right now.
Then co-host the show with Davinsky. I mean, that's just me. So, okay. Anyway, thank you everyone who contributed. I think we've caught up on everything. Gino wants a vaccine for being poor.
All right,
I wouldn't be surprised if look, we made the claim Gino is a vaxxed up lib, sucking dildos, making out with men.
Is he going to wait to get to steel toe?
So I would not be surprised if we're being honest. Okay,
we're music.
Emergency only.
I mean, it was.
He had to come live.
The free toe this side of the internet. I don't believe that.
All right, still is open. All right, now I'm not faulting him for his open because I like long opens, as you guys know. But this is 40 minutes in now, so he's just getting started. Just getting started. Now, 40 minutes in. It might be 50
Welcome
minutes.
in,
Here we go.
Yes! Yes! You know, an impromptu win by
He's going to tell us why he had to go live at 9:30 today.
To arrest cast, warrant cast, Aaron Imholte inmate tracker cast, and we're gonna be watching. We're gonna be taking a look at all of Aaron's crimes, and there's multiple crimes that are being violated. I need people to understand this. When I created this thumbnail on Ozone, I put this in the Discord. Ozone was keen on picking up on what I did yesterday, so I made the thumbnail lock him up as what people are seeing right now.
There are multiple crimes. John is right.
Get that chance. Let's put it on a t-shirt. Go wild. AI art. Let's spread it around. He's a criminal. He's a fugitive. He's on the run. He's the worst man ever. He's the worst.
All right, so I don't necessarily want to rag on John too much, but I just can't figure out why he had to go live when he knew I was going live. That seemed unnecessary. So let's. There's some funny stuff when he got into his opening coverage.
But in all seriousness, he's a bad guy. He's not just a cringe podcaster. He doesn't just steal people's money online and beg and
That's all true.
Go back into his show. It's above all of these things. He's the worst human being possibly on the face of the planet, and I say that in an unbiased, you know what I mean? Nothing is persuading me to say it. Like, seriously, like, you could take Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson, Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler.
Sometimes he does it on purpose, and sometimes I'm not sure if he does it on purpose. Like, he's doing this weird thing lately where he'll be like, he'll have to call everyone, like Carlos Danger. He'd be like, Carlis Danger, you know, or something. He's always twisting people's names. I don't know why he does it. Maybe once or twice it's funny, but he just called Adolf Hitler. Let's go back. Listen to how he says it. I've never heard anyone say it that way.
Charles Manson, Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler.
Adolf. That's odd. Is that a Philly accent? Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking. I don't know.
Out. You could take all of them. Lies. The Chronicles of the Cuckitude. Aaron Imholte, he goes on and lies and lies and lies. We're celebrating today. It's all come down to this.
Oh. We are celebrating. I felt weird. I felt weird about that. I'm celebrating someone getting arrested, but then I think about it. This guy is Aaron is a dangerous dude. You know what I mean? Look at his crimes. He's headbutting people. He's squeezing them out. Women have referred to him as a monster, and now this, he's revenge porning. Come on, be real. Any guy out here when you saw Aaron send that picture to Gino, didn't you kind of cringe a little and just be like, wow, that's a serious dick move? You know what I mean? I don't know why he thought that was cool. He's a dork. You know who else did that is that Matt Gaetz. Remember, he was running around the congressional floor showing nude photos to other congressmen, and he thought it made him look sweet. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see what else John's got.
Like I said too, just enjoy.
We're watching what John's got because he had to come on early while I was on. You know what I mean? His show was on Sunday. I told him I was going to do 9:30 today. This was before the news broke. I was just going to snipe Steel Toe because I had the day off for the holiday. So I was going to be here, and I thought it would be fun to do something in the morning. So I already had a 9:30 thing going. But then all this broke, so I understand everyone had to do a show about it. I get that, but John chose right when my show was going. That was weird.
Enjoy the fact, whatever you're doing, do it twice today. Just because you can, just because you have your freedom. I don't think we honestly appreciate our freedom on a day-to-day basis. I think sometimes it escapes us. Sometimes we just get caught up in the everyday grind. We take freedom for granted, I think, a lot of the times. You know what I mean? People would kill. America's a lot of things.
All right, enough of John right now, because like I said, this isn't about...
Tell you shit that doesn't happen. Yeah. Remember, he's the one who told you, you don't have any charges because of me. You now only have charges because of him.
Let's go back. This is really what I wanted to cover, is look at these last couple shows of Aaron coping. Things are going hard. Keep in mind, everyone, that Aaron got a new phone recently, and he's talked about it on the show, getting stuff into the new phone and all this and that. That's because he smashed his old phone to shit. He probably threw it out in the water at the lake. Went to the lake to hang out with the kids. No, he went to the lake to throw that fucking phone in there, dude. He thought that was going to get him off the hook. Look at Aaron. He's so paranoid. We can count face touches. Look, one.
To be happy. And by the way, good evening. This is actually
his $20,000 drink. This is hilarious.
And you're like, Aaron, that looks like a very basic whiskey Coke. And it is. It's just Woodford Reserve. It's just a little, Coca-Cola out of a 2-liter bottle, and my little old-timey wooden ice barrel here.
It's not a barrel, it's a bucket. All right, that's not a barrel.
In some places, this drink is a delicacy. Yeah. Some people pay $20,000 for this drink. Oh.
No, they don't. Like, if she paid $20,000 to get out on bail, You didn't pay $20,000 for a drink. And Aaron, it's interesting because you're going to have the same restrictions very soon, dude. As soon as they get the cuss on you, that's the last Woodford Reserve you're going to have for a while, buddy.
I feel fancy. Some people pay $50,000 for this drink. You know what it was for me? Gratis. On the house. Poured it myself. 20. I mean, you should almost, let it sit on the tongue and let it move amongst the taste buds. If it's a $20,000 beverage, I mean, 20. I've never drank something so expensive. And you know what's amazing? The price tag doesn't change the taste. Call me old-fashioned.
Call you a dork, an idiot. You don't understand how anything works. Call you uninformed, moronic. All right, we get it.
Call me middle class, whatever you want to say. The price doesn't change the taste for me. Still tastes like Woodford Reserve and Coca-Cola. That's it. Now, guys, you can't call it Quisky with a Q. That now we're shoehorning.
This is Aaron realizing a bit he thought was funny is stupid. The whole Q thing.
Someone saying, let's get fuckwin drunk with a Q. Honky says, Dr. Mengele pictured at Auschwitz, lawyer at Nuremberg. He was just visiting. Tonight's going to be fun. But you know what? We have to remember one thing. There but for the grace of God go I. We don't want to...
that's what we wanted to get to. That's what we wanted to get to. Him on his fucking high horse. Listen to this.
It's going to be fun. But you know what? We have to remember one thing. There but for the grace of God go I. You know what? We have to remember one thing. There but for the grace of God go I.
Yeah? The grace of God is not shining on you anymore because there you are. You have an active warrant for your arrest. You got to appear before a judge. This is essentially your second crime against women.
We don't want to look like we're rubbing anything in. We don't want to look because, nothing's over. The wheels of justice move very slowly. Who am I to give advice? Triple N said.
Didn't he give a ton of advice? Like, just go into the court and grovel and say, I did it and I'm sorry and, take responsibility. Aaron did like 45 take responsibility episodes. It seems like he was always telling us, take responsibility. You got to be a man and take responsibility and be responsible and responsibility.
Says high road. Exactly. You want me to start tonight on the high road? I'm going to give you some high road. I think April looked very good today. I do. It's the healthiest she's looked in a long time. I think she looked great. There's nothing wrong with saying that. A lot of people trashing the way she looked today. A lot of people shitting on it. I think you got to go a long way. Like, look, guys, the trouble she's in and the things she's done are bad enough. You don't need to make shit up. You don't need to go, oh, she looked like a busted out coke whore. She looked fucking terrible.
Now, hold on. We got to be clear about this. He's saying the trouble she's in and the stuff she's done, it's not as bad as what you're being, the arrest warrant for you is, dude. She was a chick who did some cocaine. People do that. It happens. It's not terrible, dude. You were revenge porning people. And you violated a restraining order. You're the bad guy in this. You're trying to act like some 29-year-old chick that got busted with a little coke is a terrible person. You're a fucking idiot.
Terrible and burnt out and this and that. She looked good. She did. Our girl looked good. And, also, covering this is fine. This isn't gossip stuff. This was our old co-host. She worked on the Steel.
Our old co-host. It was your wife that got stolen from you by Nick, dude.
show. This was an employee. This is worth covering. Shuli isn't the only person who had an employee.
Oh, look, wait.
System.
Wait, look at me in the chat over here. I don't know how to zoom, but look at me in the chat. Because we were gassing him up. Right there I put, what about her stinky vagina? He was drunk and we were gassing him up in the chat this night.
This week. I tell you. Yeah, she looked good. I thought so. She did. Decision making, not the best. And may I ask a little bit, can we drop the name Imholte? I'm asking nicely. And it's not even because of me. I don't want her to have my children's last name. I would rather, respectfully, I'm asking, and I know they both.
There's Aaron and his mother and his sister and his 3 kids, and that's it for the Imholtes. There's no one else. You know what I mean? What the fuck's he talking about?
Both watch this show because she changes her Instagram posts because I showed a picture of the dress she had on when we were in Las Vegas there when I bought her those dresses. First of all, I would tell both of you, like Nick, April, stop watching Steel Toe. It's bad for you. This is not good. Like, I wouldn't watch. If I were in your position, I wouldn't.
Listen to him. This is part of his delusion. Aaron thinks he owns people on his show. He's like, you shouldn't be watching Steel Toe because I'm just giving you lefts and rights and fucking you up at every chance I get. And it's bad for you. You shouldn't watch me fuck you up.
Watch me. It can't be entertaining for you. It can't be good. It's got to be heart-wrenching constantly. I wouldn't do it. But anyway.
Oh, what did I say here? It's on the ID. That is the basis of the charge. There's Detroit. No one wants that name, dork. Well done, Detroit. Very good. I love it.
May I ask in the future that we use Anderson, please? I don't care if you fucking use Ricada, just not Imholte, if you will. I don't believe you're deserving.
That's a lie. I guarantee you, if she changed her name to Ricada, it would burn Aaron's ass so bad, dude. The lie detector determined that's a lie. Full of shit.
Of the name, first of all. As Mel Gibson said in The Patriot, my children are better men. Well, and women. But please, for their sake, take their last name off your shit, please. That would be appreciated. She got it in the divorce. She got when you get divorced, this is pretty cool. You lose your home, you lose your spouse, you lose everything else. But you with it, you get a free name change.
Aaron acts like that's a sick own. But let's remember, in his last divorce, not this one, in his last divorce, he lost his home, his spouse, and his children. The only thing he got to keep was his fucking name. You know? What the fuck's he talking about?
So that's pretty cool, right? A lot of people pay a lot of money to change their name. So if we could change the name, that would be cool. Let's go into the chat. Let's see what you guys think. Then I'll give you my thoughts on everything.
All right, let's go into the chat, and then we'll go into the video from the other night. This is the one thing that I wanted to highlight about the chat is if you look at it, we've ran all his mods and all his fans out of the YouTube chat. I had YouTube and Rumble up the other day, and all that shit he reads from chat is from Rumble. All his fans went to Rumble. We've taken over Steel Toe's YouTube chat. That's a fact. All right, this is gonna look unprofessional for a second. All right, we'll go back to the beginning here. It's just, I always said, my whole theory about Steel Toe, and there's stuff in the middle, but it's like the first 30 minutes and the last 30 minutes when he really wants to talk shit, you know what I mean? That are the best parts of the show. I was going to do a whole clip show just based on the first 30 and the last 30 minutes. And I think it could be funny, but there's so much begging in the middle that it's also bad to ignore. I don't know. But so we'll watch the first 30. And did he make the goal this day? If he didn't, we'll watch.
It's such a unique taste. Like if you have like a mesquite, kind of a smoky barbecued rib, you've never, especially if you're English, you've never tasted anything like that before.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
never had English food. If you've ever been to like an English pub, there's a place in Ames, Iowa, and I think there's
that famous English pub in Ames, Iowa. What the fuck is he talking?
Locations, but there's a place in Ames, Iowa. I believe it was the original. It's called the Mucky Duck. I stopped there on my way to Kansas City once, and it's owned by a British dude. I mean, it's legit.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like some people here. Hey, everybody.
They kind of Americanize the English food because English food has a reputation for being bland, and they spice it up. They throw a little American kick in there. Like even other countries' food, when it comes here, has to be kind of emerald a little bit. Like they got to kick it up just a little bit.
Aaron, whenever he wants to talk about a chef or like good cooking, he always brings up Emerald. I bet he only knows the name of like 2 or 3 TV chefs, and he thinks that's all of food.
Otherwise, it's shitty. You know, everything except Italian food, maybe, and French. But like German food, my people's food it's fucking sausage and shitty cabbage dishes. It sucks. You got to spice it up a little bit. And I think Eastern Europe is just strictly pierogies. That's all they've ever contributed. Those fucking circle-faced zeros. I don't want to say I'm like Hitler. That's a weird thing to say.
I don't want to say that,
like,
but
if I didn't let's say I was talking to a guy and he had like a voice disguiser thing on, like Gary Sinise and Ransom, and he started giving me his opinion about the Polish and the Slavs and Eastern Europeans, and I didn't know it was Adolf Hitler talking about them, there'd probably be a lot of things that he'd say where I'd go, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. And then they'd be like, oh, by the way, that's Hitler. And you'd be like, oh, fuck, no. Salt of the earth. All fine people. All of them great.
Aaron fancies himself a history expert. I had this whole clip the other night when he was talking about the Kennedys. He thought he was killing it, but it sounded like a retard who had read one book. I don't think Aaron reads books about history. He watches the History Channel. You know what I mean? And you know, he thinks that's really how stuff went down. That's why Aaron believes every conspiracy theory, and he's off the rails on everything because he thinks those shit on those shows is like an actual like a scholarly study on the subject. Aaron thinks he's an expert on so much history. He was pontificating about the Clinton election, and I was like, dude, you were like 4 or something like that, weren't you? You know what I mean? But he was acting like he had it all figured out.
I think the retardation of Europe starts in southern Italy and just kind of moves eastward.
Yeah, southern Italians retarded. Documented now by Aaron.
Except maybe the Greeks. I think the Greeks are the exception.
He likes the Greeks.
Separate from all that. But like Yugoslavs, Czechs, Poles, just all... always feel like you got to slow down.
All right, hold on. We got to get through some of this. Where's he get mouthy?
Oh, boy. But as far as Caesar Diff saying, if she doesn't pull the ejector seat button soon.
Oh, here we go.
Aaron may have been married to the dumbest broad west of the Mississippi. I mean, it's hard to argue with a guy, you know? Caesar Diff also says Nick's Cope stream last night had a target audience of 1. I agree with this. April Diane Anderson.
Now, look. See, this is what I was saying about his chat. All the stuff he reads, none of it is from the YouTube chat. It's coming from somewhere else.
Nick Simpton seethed hard to try and convince her the charges not getting dropped yesterday was actually a W. Yeah, he started going over the
correct, Detroit. He's a fidgety mess. Watch how much he touches his face, too.
He started like picking apart what he found to be grammatical errors in it. And you're like, dude, Just stop. This is really, really bad. John O says, I heard about this. I don't know if I have this clip. I have some stuff from Malcolm X this morning.
Oh,
that one.
He's always got the clips that help him out. Now listen what he does too here with Malcolm X. Listen to this.
Some clips from him. Apparently, he played John DiCaprio from Win by Two's version of the April hearing. And
John DiCaprio? Did he say my name?
And April was obviously in the room. She was corner demoning because she wanted to hear Nick fucking simp for her and, dance puppet. Some days April's in charge, someday Nick's.
This is another thing I don't like is Dabbleverse people adopting Kiwi Farm stuff. I think the term sweeper is stupid. I don't like felted. And I also don't like corner demon. It just sounds gay. It sounds childish, like fucking idiots, all right? Yeah, Aaron, we've seen you looking over it and pig in the corner. You know what I mean? Corner demon, whatever. It's weird to have people watching you while you're doing a show, but corner demon is dumb. Sorry.
Some days Nick's in charge. You know who's never in charge? Kayla. So
thank you,
I guess
Bedabbler.
John
Tell me if
DiCaprio,
this
I
is
guess,
better.
Win by Two held up the cutout of April, and he's now.
I can
blacking
turn
out
me
one of her eyes
down
because,
a little.
I'm dropping the headbutts.
And the clip up
he's
some. Is
blacking
that
it,
better?
so he held that up, and then played a clip
Please
of
let
me
me know.
going, "Another win for the toe."
The clip might be too loud
After
now.
the dismissal, the judge dismissed the motion. And then Nick just shut it off. Like he was going to lean in and react to the whole thing. And instead, it was just another win for the toe. And then
It's still a learning curve. Tell me if it sounds better, everyone, please.
I don't know, man. There's something about me that still just gets this guy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Yeah, John O says he didn't realize how much of an ass John would be. Yeah, well, look, you can say a lot of things about John DiCaprio. And so far.
All right, now, Aaron knows nothing about John DiCaprio, but he's going to tell you everything about him.
The last 24 hours, Kiwi Farms has been. But
thank you.
He is
El
obnoxious
Horrible.
to the point where it
Do you
can
even go
piss
by
people
that
off.
anymore? Thank you, sir.
That obnoxious. I can't keep up with this fucking shit. I'm sorry, guys. This is what I always say. It's like I can't keep up with the YouTube chat anymore. I just have to go with super chats. I had a plan to read some of this stuff, and it's just I can't. I can't keep up.
Wait, that's
I'm so sorry,
that's
guys.
another funny part. The reason he can't read it is because this is mostly all of us. If you go through there, everyone's got different names, but there's very few steel toe fans in here. And even the ones that are like Hobo Chili Recipe, who's also in Win by Two's chat. You know what I mean? That's why Aaron says it's too fast. I can't read it because these are all fucking insults. All this shit is getting on him. It's very funny.
The Rumble chat.
We took over
is
his
great.
chat.
There's a lot of funny stuff
See?
in here, but
listen.
it's just I can't. I can't keep up. I'm so sorry, guys. The Rumble chat is great. There's a lot.
The Rumble chat is great. We fucking kicked him out of it, dude. Him and all his fans, we kicked him right out of his own YouTube chat, but he can't leave the platform.
A lot of funny stuff in here, but I wanted to get to Malcolm X is in the chat. Fuck, I wish I could just go to his. And Hobo, of course. Nick has convinced April that the warrant will be thrown out. That's why she's still there. Nick has convinced both of those girls of every retarded thing he's been wrong about.
All right, now, this is where everyone will get lawyerly about it and all that kind of shit, but this is Aaron. Melton says it all the time. Aaron just thinks shit up in his head, and he's like, and then he said this to her, and she said this back, and next thing you know, Aaron just makes shit up in his head, and he has no idea what's going on. Let's listen.
100%. He has convinced those. I mean, and you can say that that's Nick's fault. I disagree. Those girls should be able to see through it, and they should be able to go.
Now, all right. See, Now, Aaron was married to one, and Aaron said he had very strong feelings for the other one. So at some point, he thought they were both smart. Now he thinks they're idiots and can't see through the lies of the guy who got them both, and he's got nothing. You know, he's like, I can't believe they're so dumb and they can't figure it out. Well, dude, I can't believe you're trying to explain to us how he's got both of them, you got nothing, and you're the winner here. Right? You're going to do more time than April, or you're going to get more punishment. I don't even know if you'll do time, but the truth is you're going to be on probation, dude. You're not going to be able to drink. You're going to be monitored. And the worst thing probably is you weren't honest with the court last week. You knew this was coming up, and I'm sure they asked you about it in pre-sentencing. There's pre-sentencing reports and shit. I'm sure they asked you if you're facing any other charges or do you know about any other charges, and you absolutely knew of these. And the thing to keep in mind, this is a different county, a different judge, and they're probably not going to be happy that you lied to them and then caught a felony for a similar type of case right after she gave you a break. So, or he, I don't even know what the judge was, but that might be the one where you do some jail time.
This guy's full of shit and he's flailing. And that was never more evident than last night. And since he's here in the chat, thank you, Malcolm X, for clipping that out. If you have more clips and you can get them.
Look, if you can do some work and give me some stuff that I can monetize, I would appreciate that, and send it to me. Of course, I won't send you any money back, but if you could do that, it would be great. Let's hit the goal.
Up in the next hour or so, that would be awesome. TVA Dan says the troll asking April how those tits fart during court was the highlight. I was listening to that with someone yesterday and trying to figure out what that said. I think it said, show us what them tits for, April. I don't think he asked how her tits fart. That doesn't make any sense. Fart.
Where was he watching that? He was either watching that on Win by Two's channel or my channel. As far as I know, I'm sure it was on Kiwi or whatever, but let's be honest. If he was watching that, he was probably watching it on Win by Two or my channel. Those are the places it was up immediately.
Farting tits. That should have been the name of today's episode, Farting Tits. I had my kids back to school, the open house yesterday, and Kevin Brennan texted me.
Exactly,
Dave. I was on
Wow.
the way to the open house, and he goes, can you come on the show today? And there was part of me that was like, man, I almost wish I could call the school and get the, the fucking open house pushed back. But I'm not. I maybe could have went on with Kevin while I was driving, but the kids were in the car, and I'm not gonna put the kids through, Kevin Brennan. Not that Kevin's not great.
Hold on, there's some other funny stuff. Yeah,
for the 10 and under. Watermelon is not out in the open. You see, mental illness. Really grasp the seriousness of those situations, and someone told me yesterday, they're like, that's narcissism. I'm like, narcissism.
Everyone's narcissism expert. Missy B, I'm looking at you. All you people shut the fuck up. You use all these words. Everyone's a narcissist and everyone's gaslighting or getting gaslit. Shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ. You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Not all the way, but even in that serious moment, being like, they're talking about my tits. She does like attention from all men. She does like getting her body noticed. Why do you think in every picture her arm is turned out to show her totally rad new tat?
Now, isn't this an interesting flex? Because Aaron, his whole identity is having a hot chick or a chick that other people want on his arm. You know what I mean? He's got to have a girl around him all the time. And he's making fun of her for wanting to be seen. You know what I mean? He's making fun of, it's like, oh, she wants to be hot. And it's like, yeah, dude, and you want a chick like that on your arm, dude. It's so important to your whole fucking identity. You know what I mean? And you're ragging on her for that? You were married to that. Fuck you, Jesus Christ.
Too. But like to do it in a court where you're on felony drug charges, that is kind of missing the point of what you're there for. She did look bothered though. She was blinking a whole fuck ton. But I mean, that is a stressful situation, to be fair. And she looked good, like physical appearance was good. She looked great. Yeah, you're going to be twitchy. She looked like she was holding back tears a few days. She was having a tough time, and she was trying to put on a proud face for the world because she knew a lot of people were watching, waiting to see her fuck up or something. So I get it. Klopp O'Graham says, Aaron eating.
Okay, I want to go back. Oh, I wanted to play the one where he's drinking because he's talking about how she looked in court, like she looked furious, or she looked like she was about to cry when.
Yes. So.
Oh, that's Kiki. We don't. Hold on. Let's play this for a second, and I'll find that video.
Eating watermelon. Next thing, he'll be eating fried chicken and his jeans by his ankles. Oh, black. McBuster says that watermelon is just there to fool us into thinking he doesn't eat gas station hash browns for breakfast every morning. I did have an English muffin with peanut butter on it. Why do I say these things?
An English muffin with peanut butter. Now I'll be 2 pounds heavier on the scales today and think I'm such a bad boy.
Thanks to you. Why do I don't need to tell you guys this shit. Cocktiff says, hopefully forensics didn't test that disgusting bed the four of you shared. Aw, Aaron's memory is still here. Lose the chat. Buster says, Mommy, Daddy, why is another naked couple covered with sugar and sleeping in your bed? They're hibernating. Leave them alone.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this.
Dissident says the look on her face when the judge said random drug testing. They can't be getting away with doing drugs right now, can they? I don't know enough about that life.
All right. This might be funny here because Aaron always says this is like, I'm no expert. And then he starts telling you how he imagines it will be. And then he makes it into that's how it is. And this person possibly can't stand to deal with his imaginary guy.
But I mean, he's got to be tested to have those kids, to quote Red Bar. They can't be doing drugs. I mean, prescription stimulants maybe, but like they can't. There's no way they can be getting around that testing, right? Well, I mean, I guess addicts do it all the time. I didn't notice a face when the judge said random drug testing because the testing includes alcohol. Like you can't drink either. So I don't know if I didn't notice a face that was much different from the rest of the hearing, but you could be right. April had that same exact facial expression she had toward the end of being on this show. Labglass said,
Now, April did not. April looked fine. As you said, she looked all right. I don't think April's expression changed much during it. I want to find the point right here. I almost got it up. Please deal with me a little more. This is from the other video. I'm no John DeCapraman, so fucking give me a second. Right?
You are gay.
Oh, here we go. We might have went over this, but I want to go over it again because then we're gonna play the court hearing and see what happened.
April's corner demon. You know,
yeah.
He's a lying liar.
I think I stopped at corner demon, so we'll get into it.
Who lies, and you can't trust a word he says. But if you're stupid and he's the only voice you hear because he's isolated you from everyone else, you believe him. Some of us are smarter than that, and we know that everything he has said has been not true. Everything he said has been a lie. So he had her gassed up, thinking.
Imagine Aaron saying that. Because what we know about him, how much he's lied about everything, and he says he's always tried to be honest. And I got to reiterate this point. I'm not necessarily happy that people go to the jail. I know it sucks. It's going to fuck up his life if it happens. But he's a horrible person. I mean, he's not even like a dude that makes mistakes. This is a bad guy we're talking about. He's a fucking megalomaniac, dude. He thinks everyone owes him something. He's out of control, for real.
So he had her gassed up, thinking that this motion to dismiss, fait accompli, man. It's a done deal. Don't you worry. Oh, man, it's going to be wiped out. This is a home run. Lawyer did a good job writing it. I mean, he did the best he could. And I'm sure Nick had her thinking, well, it's going to get dismissed. Just like he thinks this search warrant's getting thrown out.
All right, now, this is where we'll watch the hearing here and what was said. Because they put in like I don't know how you would describe it. I think the lawyers knew this motion wouldn't be granted here. But watch what happened. Watch how he describes it, and then we'll watch what happened.
Thinking, well, it's going to get dismissed. Just like he thinks this search warrant's getting thrown out. I love how Nick is totally not a sports guy, by the way. I was watching Sean's show, and Nick's like, people keep saying this is a Hail Mary thing. Boxing. You go for the one punch knock. Different sport that I think that can, this is going to get thrown out. And then as soon as the judge basically, from what I hear, because I haven't watched it yet, we'll watch it together if we hit the goal.
All right, now we know he's watched it, and he's acting like from what I hear. Here, what?
And then as soon as the judge basically, from what I hear, because I haven't watched it yet, we'll watch it together if we hit the goal tonight. From what I hear, the judge just went, yeah, I'm dismissing that. Like, didn't even give it a second thought, just heard from both sides and went,
all right. Now, hear what he said there. Hear what he said there.
And, this is going to get thrown out. And then as soon as the judge basically, from what I hear, because I haven't watched it yet, we'll watch it together if we hit the goal tonight.
If we hit the goal,
judge just went, yeah, I'm dismissing that. Like, didn't even.
If we hit the goal, so maybe I should tell you guys, this is only if we hit the goal will I show you what she said. So the goal for me is 1 Patreon membership, but that's at the David Chandler level, and that is $10,000. So I don't know if you guys want to, maybe there's one fucking whale out there that can do it, or if you guys want to create some kind of joint account to get there so you can see what the best part of the show. That's what he's doing. He's like, I'm gonna beg for all this money. I'm not gonna give you my best stuff now. I'm gonna beg for money, and if you give me the money, then I'll give you my best stuff. So go to Snitsy on Patreon and click yes on that $10,000 Chandler membership.
Even give it a second thought, just heard from both sides and went, all right, motion to dismiss denied. And then April looked over like, what the fuck? And then just started blinking. And from what I've heard from people, looked like she was
also not true. We will see that.
about to cry. That's kind of her fault, though, because how many times are you going to let this fucking retard tell you shit that doesn't come true, tell you shit that doesn't happen? Remember, he's the one who told you, you don't have any charges because of me. You now only have charges because of him.
No.
He's the one.
No, that's bullshit. She has charges because she was doing cocaine. You know what I mean? That's just the way it works. Now, I don't necessarily believe the evidence they have against her is going to be able to convict her. So, yeah, I'd fight it tooth and nail out of the way. They can't prove that Nick or Kayla didn't grab the credit cards out of her wallet and the cocaine. You know what I mean? You can't just blame her because that shit was there. She wasn't there. She didn't have cocaine on her. She didn't do any of that shit. What the fuck are you talking about? Or she did do that shit, but you can't point to one thing, you know what I mean, that says she did it. That's my new hype drop. I haven't been able to play drops because I'm trying to make sure the show runs right. But there you go. Anyway, so let's continue.
Who introduced you to cocaine?
He introduced you to it. Is that everyone's... That's stupid. You know what I mean? Introduced you to cocaine and you're going to blame that guy for it? Oh, I don't know. That's dumb. And I don't necessarily believe it's true. I bet you April did. When April was painting valves back in fucking Andersonville, you know, Minnesota or wherever she's from, I bet she fucking did some meth and shit before. You know what I mean? I don't think Nick introduced her.
He's the one who told you can move back in. It'll be fine. We'll all just live together. And then they put charges back on you. He's the reason you've got charges in the first place. Nothing he's told you has been correct. Everything I've said has come to pass.
Everything. All right.
And yet, here you are still surprised when this retard leads you astray. I mean, these women don't deserve sympathy anymore. They've listened to this fucking dipshit with no tard wrangler to control him. They've bought everything, and they're wondering why everything is a loss and denied and continued. Guys, gals, do you think that maybe the call's coming from inside the house?
Now think of this. He was charged for revenge porn the next day. That's fucking insane, dude. Look at him all drunk after he just destroyed his phone and threw it in Lake Imholte or wherever, or buried it underneath the cabin or one of the various RVs scattered about the property. But he got rid of that fucking phone and he got all drunk. He probably knew this was coming down. His dipshit lawyer probably said, they're going to arrest you, dude. Look at him. The next day he got charged. So funny.
No. Fine then. Don't listen to me. I just went to my children's open house today while you went to court.
The next time we see you, we'll be at court, Aaron. Isn't that ironic?
Just, again, throwing it out there. I'm just a guy sipping on a $20,000 drink, doing some court.
Last $20,000 drink he's going to have in a while. All right, so we'll stop that there because let's go look at what the judge actually said. All right, this is available on my channel. If you want to see it all. In the beginning, I had too many apps running in the beginning, so the audio is really choppy. But it pans out when stuff gets important. Start about like right here. Well, just watch.
Any drugs, and so we're asking that the court dismiss the charge.
Ms. Pierce.
All right, yeah. So let's go back a little bit more because he's saying they didn't find her with any drugs.
Execution. Mere presence is not enough to support a possession charge. There's no allegation that she possessed any drugs. And so we're asking that the court dismiss the charge.
Ms. Pierce.
Which is what I said and the prosecution will have to explain that in court. She didn't have drugs on her. They could have got her ID anywhere.
Your Honor, Ms. Imholte was found in the room where the drugs were found. She's only being charged with the drugs that were found immediately on top of her credit cards.
Oh, as a side note, check out this chick, man. She's got the Kevin Brennan thing. Like, you can't see this part right here of her headset. You know, I mean, she's the prosecutor and she's doing it totally fucking Kevin Brennan style.
Which were active and not expired. One was a bank card, and her purse was found in the master bedroom suite, which between the master bedroom and the bathroom.
Now think about it. If a cocaine fiend was looking for some cards to cut up some coke, he'd grab your purse and He'd be walking back to where his Coke was, and he'd drop your purse when he got the credit cards. That purse could be anywhere in the house. Who gives a fuck?
And she was in the room when law enforcement executed the search warrant, and the drugs were out in the open on top of her immediate possessions, with the rest of the contents of her purse also in that room. While mere presence is not enough, that does show that she was in the room and creates a joint possession that she was using, or at least with one of the homeowners in that bedroom where the drugs were out in the open, on top of, literally on top of her property.
All right. That sounds strong, but that's not really. She could have just been, people were busting in the front door and she ran to the back of the house or what. Right? This doesn't prove anything.
Of her bank cards.
For today's purposes, I'm denying the motion without.
All right, now here's what we get to, because the way Aaron described it is the judge just laughed it out and said, "Get the fuck out of here." Let's hear what she says.
For today's purposes, I'm denying the motion without prejudice. I think the motion is not as simple as the defense filing would make it seem, considering Ms. Pierce's take on the evidence, and that the motion to dismiss would be more appropriate for a Rule 11 motion where the parties could dive in a little deeper to present.
All right, so let's listen to what she said again. She didn't say, like, get the fuck out of here with that, right? Let's listen to what she said.
Take on the evidence, and that the motion to dismiss would be more appropriate.
Right. Here's proof Jamingo is a dummy. Can anyone explain the difference between internet content and revenge porn to John Jamingo? Can anyone do that for me, please? I don't have the time.
For a Rule 11 motion where the parties could dive in a little deeper to present the court with the full flavor of the evidence. And so for today's purposes, it's denied. And Mr. Gallagher.
So for today's purposes, it's denied. But certainly we can have this discussion in a Rule 11 hearing. You know what I mean? And now let's go back and let's concentrate on April's face. I don't know how to zoom so well, but I don't know how to zoom at all. But let's just concentrate on April's face up there and tell me if she looks like she's about to cry or anything. She looks calm and collected.
For a Rule 11 motion where the parties could dive in a little deeper to present the court with the full flavor of the evidence. And so for today's purposes, it's denied. And Mr. Gallagher, would you like to combine Rule 5?
So, not as Aaron described it. You know what I mean? Not as Aaron described it at all. She said for today's purposes, because this isn't the place for that, but we can have a whole Rule 11 hearing about it. Oh, that's not the way Aaron described it, I don't think. Let's go back and look. All right, yeah, what did he say?
True. Tell you shit that doesn't happen. Remember,
gotta go back a little farther. All right, let's see what he said.
Like him be the corner demon for once. Problem is, I think what happened was April's corner demon, he's a lying liar who lies, and you can't trust a word he says. But if you're stupid and he's the only voice you hear because he's isolated you from everyone else, you believe him. Some of us are smarter than that. And we know that everything he has said has been not true. Everything he said has been a lie. So he had her gassed up, thinking that.
All right, here you go. Aaron's gonna describe. He obviously didn't watch it, like he says, and he was just ready to put out what people told him because it sounded good to him, or he did watch it and he made shit up out of whole cloth. Let's see.
This motion to dismiss, fait accompli, man. It's a done deal. Don't you worry. Oh man, it's going to be wiped out. This is a home run. Lawyer did a good job writing it. I mean, he did the best he could.
All right. Aaron knows what emotion looks like, you know what I mean? And he's looked at thousands of pages of legal documents, and Aaron knows that lawyer, you know, he did a good job. He did the best he could.
Doubt this is a home run. Lawyer did a good job writing it. I mean, he did the best he could. And I'm sure Nick had her thinking, bro, it's going to get dismissed. Just like he thinks this search warrant.
No, Nick's not that dumb. Neither is her lawyer representing her, because it doesn't look like it phases him either.
And I'm sure Nick had her thinking, bro, it's going to get dismissed. Just like he thinks this search warrant's getting thrown out. I love how Nick is totally not a sports guy, by the way. I was watching Sean's show, and Nick's like, people...
We'll play this, because this is important to Aaron. Aaron burns Nick on a sports reference. He loves this. He thinks he gets Nick so good.
Keep saying this is a Hail Mary pass. It's not. It's an attempt at a one-punch knockout. Hey, Nick, in boxing, going for a one-punch knockout is considered the Hail Mary pass of boxing.
Look, Aaron's like going, I'm a sports ball guy. I know sports ball.
That's when you do, and it's the 12th round, and you're behind on all the cards, and you need a knockout. You go for the one-punch knockout. It's not a Hail Mary. It's that thing in a different sport that I really don't know anything the fuck about. But I think the corner demon thing, yeah, that was really interesting. The problem is he had her gassed up.
All right, here
thinking,
it is.
you know, oh, this is going to get thrown out.
And no, he didn't. We watched it all. It didn't seem to surprise anyone, and the judge didn't say what Aaron said. She said, "Oh, let's."
He had her gassed up, thinking, you know, oh, this is going to get thrown out. And then as soon as the judge basically, from what I hear, because I haven't watched it yet, we'll watch it together if we hit the goal tonight. From what I hear,
if we hit the goal, I said you guys had to hit the goal. For me, I don't see a Chandler subscriber, but I slipped. You guys have gotten it anyway. With no goal. No goal. Hold on, I got new drops I want to play. No goal.
Oh my God, an insane goal! I've just seen the most insane goal I have ever seen!
Thank you guys for watching.
The judge just went, yeah, I'm dismissing that. Like, didn't even give it a second thought. Just
she did give it a second thought. She said, we can have a Rule 11 hearing about it. She didn't just dismiss it out of hand like he said. The lie detector test determined that's a lie.
Heard from both sides and went, all right, motion to dismiss denied. And then April looked over like, what the fuck? And then just started blinking.
Who did she look over at? We just watched it. The video is available at Soft. You know, look at it yourself. Who did she look over at and look like she was ready to cry to?
And from what I've heard from people, looked like she was about to cry. That's kind of her fault, though, because how many times are you going to let this fucking retard tell you shit that doesn't come true, tell you shit that doesn't happen? Remember, here's
the other thing that I think he's got to own. He thinks he's got to own about. Hold on, we'll find it. That wasn't supposed to happen. Fuck. I'm blowing it.
Lose the chat. Here's the deal. If you got questions for me and what I think and all that stuff,
we got it's like
super chat it,
minutes
Rumble rant it,
in.
PayPal it, whatever, and I'll organize it. That sheet works for some people. Nana's Clam says, all must read from the Book of Toe. It is the guide to living a life of W's. Well, Look.
Here we go. Yeah.
We're doing well now. We will not be doing well at some point. It all comes back around again.
Wait. Now this is the 28th. We're doing well now. We will not be doing well at some point. At some point, it's like tomorrow, dude. Tomorrow you won't be doing well. Tomorrow's that some point you were talking about.
Nana's Clam says, I don't get the 20,000 thing. Could you explain it in great detail real quick? Fuck you. April has to pay $20,000 or she can't have mind-altering substances. Whoops. Snowcat Tish says Nick is texting Slam Piece, right? Honky is theorizing that Nick is DMing Gordy. Let's just say Nick still loves you, boy. Nick still has a crush on you, boy. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate him. I don't know where this idea.
Who's your boy? Is he like a rapper? I'm old. I mean, for real, your boy. Does he got? Did he do a song with Post Malone? Who's your boy?
Yeah, that he and his lawyer got that I hate him. I don't. I think he's fascinating. I don't think he understands who he is, and he doesn't understand how fascinating he is. Honky says talking constantly about April's tits is making a mountain out of a pair of molehills. Now, is that nice?
I'm trying to find the point where he's talking about he's talking about her being in his in Nick's studio. Hold on, give me. All right, yeah, here we go. This is what we're looking for.
Charlie Manson ran more bitches. Nick's game is weak. Perhaps.
This is going to be funny because Aaron acts like April was so stupid. Like when she zoomed in, that the judge or the court clerk or the prosecutor was going to pick it up and go, wait a minute, that's Nick's studio. What the fuck? They had no idea. They don't know. We know because we watch it. Watch how he plays it.
Perhaps. Citizen M says, wait, Nick was DMing your first one. No, Citizen M. No. This actually might be creepier. Numero uno Josh Denny fan with $5 says, come on, motherfuckers, let's hit this goal or I'm sending Josh Denny links all night. Oh my God. Guys, you might want to fucking think about hitting that goal. I love that she called in from the studio, says Sam Show. That is classic. I mean, if my ex-baby was calling in from that studio as a gag, like if that was a subtle,
listen to all that, my ex-baby, he's trying to big stuff this, you know what I mean? Like, and he thinks it's own. The only people it's funny to is us. Like I said, the judge, the prosecutor, no one, her lawyer probably doesn't even know that's Nick's studio. You know what I mean? Aaron thinks it's so stupid and it's a big own. Listen to him.
My ex-baby was calling in from that studio as a gag. Like if that was a subtle, if she's like a really like deep undercover informant for the state of Minnesota and she was doing that to fuck with those two, it's the most hilarious Andy Level Kaufman shit I've ever seen. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what it was. Chad Buzamok says if you use that 20K or 50K drink choke.
There's one theory. Working for the FBI. Fuck. I'm getting pissed now. All right. That's not working. So, I did want to show this. I cannot verify this in any way, but it does exist. There's a GoFundMe for Aaron's bail. It says, I think their goal is $25,000. I do not believe they have gotten anything yet. Let's see. There's some comments. No, the organizer's there. No comments. Maybe go leave a comment. Go leave some money if you're a toe boy. If I wanted to promote that for people who like him. Oh, I did want to watch this too. This is funny. This is WATP watching Johnny's appearance on the what's it called? It's All Funny or Funny Forever or something. I can't remember, but let's watch how they kind of cover it for a second.
Also,
because
there's one
I got to be clear because I got to stay true to the brand is WATP are grifters on. No, that's not the one. Yeah, WATP are grifters on the whole steel toe thing. Carl used to protect Aaron. As far as I'm concerned, I've documented it before. I've said it on his show. I don't think poorly of Carl at all about it, but I know Carl had a completely different attitude about steel toe years back. So it's interesting for me.
Johnny did another podcast recently. He was interviewed, and there's speculation that he was shitting on Aaron.
All right, thank you. Then on Venmo, Curtis with $20 says, "Kick Johnny, can't stand traitors."
All right, now I'll just say this, and you guys can go back and watch. I was in Aaron's chat saying it the other day. Ever since Aaron found out about this, he's every time he brings it up and he makes Johnny say again is like, "Oh, they blindsided me and I didn't know they were gonna do it." You know what I mean? It's like he makes Johnny apologize for this 2 and 3 times a show. On the on that 28th show where I was in the chat, yeah, dude, John, I know if you go back and watch that chat, I said it a bunch of times. Johnny had to apologize do that same thing 3 times. I didn't know they were going to say that. They caught me off guard. It wasn't cool. You know, it was sickening to watch.
What does that mean? Kick Johnny, can't stand traitors.
Apparently I'm a traitor.
Oh, I'm supposed to kick you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess I'm a traitor.
All right. Well, you fucking traitorous piece of shit. Next time I see you, I'm going to give you a...
kick me.
I'm going to fucking kick the shit out of you. You understand?
Aren't they in the same room?
Kick that wheelchair out from under your ass.
All right. All of a sudden, we're only $15 away from today.
All right, back to the goal. No, they're not in the same room. Johnny doesn't go to his house anymore.
Oh.
Johnny's always at his house sitting in his egg thing and doing the show from there for some reason.
I assumed he transported the egg crate with him.
Yeah, you would think so. That would be a lot of work, I suppose.
All right, so let's get into
let's
what
go to
they
the
say.
interview that
It's
upset
coming up.
Aaron here, because we will get the aftermath after this. But I want to start with this interview.
And like I've said on my show and stuff,
Here it is.
For a while with the way Aaron was behaving on the show and everything, I was starting to think about maybe not even doing the show because it seemed like every day I was on, he was disinterested. So I didn't really I didn't know if I was going to keep going with the show.
So now they didn't trick Johnny into saying that. He's like, "Oh, they got me there under false pretenses," but they didn't trick Johnny into saying that.
And then
that's interesting right there.
Yeah.
I was the co-host on his show and he seemed disinterested in anything I had to say. Yeah, he doesn't care about you, Johnny. It's quite obvious to all of us people observing this.
I got to be fair, and I got to kind of appreciate Aaron's instincts here. I've heard Johnny Crutches talk, and I tune out a little bit too.
Well, also, there's one thing that's very important on
This was a
Steel Toe
different
Morning
clip,
Show.
actually.
And
Hold
that
on,
is
sorry about this.
The goal. Unless we're talking about the goal, what's the point?
It's all noise to get to the next plugging of
All
the
right,
goal.
so that's all we'll hear of Carl. What we do want to look at real quick, because like I said, the internet's blown up since this all happened. Let's see what's going on the subreddit here. Another win for the toe, sheriff's car. I don't know. Is there any other good videos I'd like to point you guys to? People just have their own channels now. I wish you guys would go check out the subreddit. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. Wait a minute. All right, so we're on the search. Everyone's refreshing their pages and waiting to see when Aaron gets booked in. I mean, there's a bunch of people doing it. Everyone's looking for it. The only guy booked in so far today is Joseph Block. This guy. All right, so what's Joseph Block? All right, let's look at him. He's 59. He's a little older than Aaron. 6'3", similar, 245. Maybe if Aaron's had a few extra hash browns from the convenience store. I don't know if they're where they get him. All right, case number. Let's see. Charge information. Let's look. Violation. HROMS. That's what Aaron's violation was for. So I think this is some kind of premonition. We'll be seeing Aaron there soon. The first guy booked today violated his restraining order, much like the toe. I think that's funny. I just want you guys to know that many people are watching, and as soon as anything breaks, I'm not saying I'll be the first, but it'll be out there. This story's huge. Aaron can't get away from it. I did want to mention one last thing. Aaron's radio career is officially over. I don't know if he'll ever come back on the internet, but think about it. He got kicked off the radio for misogyny. He violated a restraining order, which is, he's got a problem with women. Let's say we're building it. And now he's going to get a felony for revenge porn, which, reinforces that. There's no, and he did that on his program. It wasn't like something that was in private. He sent revenge porn on his show. No radio station will ever have him again. His dream is done. I don't know if he'll ever internet again, but I know his radio dream is done as of yesterday. All right, so I got stuff to do today, but I want to go back and check out what my buddy's doing, who totally stepped on my time slot after he knew I was going live. Let's see what he's up to. We'll check him out for a minute.
And I'm not going to report that.
So now you're being disingenuous. You're not going to report it? Imagine if CBS or TMZ said, well, guys, there's a thing here about, Kamala Harris, and we don't actually want to believe this. We don't want to report this. No, that actually happens more times than not, but that's why we hate those fucking corporations. That's why we hate CBS. That's why we hate CNN. That's why we hate these bigger fucking news outlets, because they lie and they cherry pick reports. And this is coming from a guy who's like, also hates CNN and hates all this. So you're doing the very thing that you hate based on because your boss, what? Pays you $50 a show? I mean, how fucking insane.
Let's go back.
I don't
see
believe
what
it's
he did. All right.
Minnesota on my phone. I'm like
watching Kiki.
Sir Shmishmishma, calling to
he had to
speak about the revenge prawn.
He's watching Kiki. He had
charges, which I assume
step on my
I guess
toes for that. Let's see what else.
It says Rumble Link Friday. Oh, wait. There ain't none. There ain't no Rumble Link Friday.
Interesting. I told Win by 2 I was going to do Rumble Friday since Aaron can't.
That sucks. Thank you, KFCH, for the 5. Funky Monk says
another win for the 2.
Another win for the toe.
Yeah, man. Kudos to Funky Monk. Kudos to myself.
Kudos to Win by 2 Radio.
Kudos
to Signal. And for
I don't know.
being
That's
private.
the way it goes sometimes.
Amazing
I guess
stuff here, guys.
here.
All right, let's get into some clips.
I wanted
I've
to talk
reading
about
way
it.
too
I
much
got
this
stuff
morning,
to
but
do.
I feel like that was important just to kind of set
Win
the
by
stage
2 is still my boy, but it
of what
really
we're about
kind
to
of
embark on.
fuck.
So we're
me
gonna
here.
watch a clip. Actually, before we do any of this,
It's no worries. Thanks to all you guys that showed up. You know, America and all that shit. I got stuff to do. Have a nice day. I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here.